There is a place on Earth where the ocean floor tears itself apart, where the ground splits open, where superheated water erupts from cracks in the rock at temperatures that would cook a human being alive in seconds. No sunlight reaches here, no warmth, no mercy. Nothing should be able to survive here. And yet, something does. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in the scalding waters that billow out of active underwater volcanoes, scientists made a discovery so strange, so impossible, that they assumed they had made a mistake. They hadn't. But the truth is, even stranger than the discovery itself. This is the story of the fish that lives in boiling volcanoes. Imagine standing at the edge of Yellowstone. The ground beneath your feet is thin. Below it, a furnace. Now imagine that same fury beneath the sea. Hydrothermal vents, which simply means cracks in the ocean floor where volcanic heat escapes, were first discovered in 1977 by a team of oceanographers aboard the research vessel Knorr, off the Galapagos Islands. Dr. Robert Ballard, who would later become famous for finding the Titanic, was among the scientists who could not believe what they were seeing. Around these vents, life exploded. Not just life, thriving, complex, extraordinary life, in a place where no biologist thought anything could exist. But that was just the beginning of the story. Because among the creatures crowding these impossible ecosystems were fish. The Thermichthys hollisi. Say that slowly. Thermichthys hollisi. Named after Dr. Raymond Hollister, a deep-sea biologist who spent decades chasing life in the most hostile corners of the ocean. At first glance, it doesn't look like a survivor. It looks like a ghost. Pale. Almost translucent. Around 30 centimeters long, roughly the size of a man's forearm. Its eyes are small and sunken. Its body is built low to the ground, flat, designed to press itself against the rock. But that pale, quiet body hides one of the most extraordinary biological systems ever found in a vertebrate animal. A vertebrate, meaning a creature with a spine, a backbone, like you and me. Most fish die at temperatures above 35 degrees Celsius. Thermichthys hollisi has been observed living comfortably in water that reaches 54 degrees Celsius, and briefly surviving exposure to temperatures close to boiling. How? That is the question that has driven researchers to the deepest parts of the ocean for the last 40 years. To understand what makes this fish impossible, you need to understand what heat does to living things. Every animal is built from proteins. Proteins, the molecules that make your muscles, your enzymes, your immune system, are extremely sensitive to temperature. Heat them too much, and they unravel. They lose their shape. They stop working. This is called denaturing, which simply means the protein falls apart. It is why a raw egg turns solid when you cook it. It is why a fever of 42 degrees Celsius can kill a human being. The proteins in your cells simply cannot hold together. Now, imagine an animal living next to a volcanic vent. The water temperature doesn't just reach 42 degrees, it reaches 300, 400 degrees Celsius in the direct jet of the vent itself. The surrounding water, where animals actually live, hovers between 30 and 80 degrees. Still lethal, still impossible, unless your proteins are different. In 2007, a landmark study led by Dr. Stéphane Hordes at the CNRS Marine Station in Roscoff, France, analyzed the biochemical structure of deep-sea vent fish and the creatures that live alongside them. What they found reshaped everything biologists thought they knew about the limits of vertebrate life. The proteins inside heat-tolerant deep-sea animals are reinforced. They are packed more tightly. They contain more cross-links. Think of them as extra stitches holding the fabric of the molecule together, that keep them stable even when temperatures rise to levels that would destroy any normal cell. These proteins don't just survive heat, they need it. Bring these animals up to normal surface ocean temperatures, a comfortable 10 or 15 degrees Celsius, and they begin to die. The very thing that would kill us is the thing that keeps them alive. Their biology is tuned to a completely different world. But the mystery goes deeper than proteins, because surviving the heat is only part of the challenge. At hydrothermal vents, the water is not just hot, it is laced with chemicals, hydrogen sulfide, heavy metals, carbon dioxide so dense it sometimes forms liquid pools on the ocean floor. For most animals, breathing this water would be like breathing acid. The vent fish have adapted in ways that scientists are still trying to fully map. Their gills, the organs they use to extract oxygen from the water, the same way your lungs extract it from air, are lined with specialized enzymes, which simply means biological machines, that neutralize certain toxic compounds before they enter the bloodstream. Their livers are enlarged. Their detoxification systems work over time. Every moment of every day, these fish are processing a chemical cocktail that would kill almost any other animal on Earth within minutes. And they do it so efficiently, so quietly, that from the outside they look almost relaxed, almost peaceful. There is something else happening here, something that changes the story entirely. These fish are not just surviving around the vents, they are feeding from them. This is where the true strangeness begins. Every ecosystem on Earth, every forest, every coral reef, every kelp forest is ultimately powered by the sun. Plants capture sunlight. Animals eat the plants. Predators eat those animals. Remove the sun and the chain collapses. But at hydrothermal vents, there is no sun. There has never been sunlight down here, not once in the 4 billion year history of the ocean. And yet the ecosystem thrives, because here, at the bottom of the world, life invented a completely different engine. It is called chemosynthesis, which simply means using chemical energy instead of sunlight to produce food. Bacteria at the vents consume the hydrogen sulfide pouring out of the rock. They convert it into energy. They form the base of an entire food web, tube worms, clams, shrimp, crabs, and fish, all of them feeding directly or indirectly on bacteria powered not by sunlight, but by the heat and chemistry of the Earth itself. In 2004, Dr. Cindy Van Dover of Duke University, one of the world's leading authorities on vent ecosystems and the first person ever to pilot a submersible solo to a hydrothermal vent, described these ecosystems as a window into what life on other worlds might look like. She wasn't speaking poetically, she was being precise. Because if life can exist here, in total darkness, in scalding, toxic water, powered by volcanic chemistry rather than sunlight, then the rules we thought governed where life is possible are wrong. They were always wrong. We just didn't know it yet. Europa. That is the moon of Jupiter that astronomers believe has a liquid ocean beneath its frozen surface. An ocean kept warm not by the sun, Europa is too far away, but by the gravitational pull of Jupiter itself, flexing the moon like a rubber ball, generating internal heat. Heat that may right now be escaping through cracks in the ocean floor. Vents, just like the ones on Earth. And if bacteria can live around Earth's vents, if fish can live around Earth's vents, if entire ecosystems can build themselves in the dark around volcanic chemistry, then something might be living in the ocean of Europa right now. Something we haven't found yet. Something that doesn't need the sun at all. Back on Earth, the vent fish face a danger that no amount of biological adaptation can protect them against. Us. The mineral deposits that form around hydrothermal vents, rich with copper, zinc, gold, and rare earth metals, have attracted the attention of deep-sea mining companies. Dozens of corporations and governments are currently planning or actively pursuing the extraction of these deposits from the ocean floor. The International Seabed Authority, the body that governs mining in international waters, has been under enormous pressure to issue commercial mining licenses. Scientists are alarmed. Dr. Adrian Glover of the Natural History Museum in London has warned publicly that deep-sea mining could cause irreversible damage to ecosystems that took millions of years to develop around vent systems. Ecosystems that we have barely begun to understand. Each vent field is unique. Each one hosts species found nowhere else on Earth. Species that have never been formally described. Species we don't even have names for yet. And unlike a coral reef, which, given time and protection, can partially recover, a vent ecosystem scraped away by a mining machine might take decades, centuries, or longer to rebuild, if it rebuilds at all. Here is what makes the ventfish's story hit hardest. It survived the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. It survived ice ages. It survived millions of years of volcanic upheaval, tectonic shifting, ocean acidification events that wiped out the majority of surface life on Earth not once, but several times. Life at the vents kept going, because the vents kept going, because the heat of the Earth never stopped. These creatures are, in the most literal sense, the oldest survivors on the planet. Their ancestors were here before complex life reached the surface, before eyes evolved, before fins, before the first fish ever swam in sunlit water. They live in a world that has barely changed in hundreds of millions of years, while continents drifted, while oceans rose and fell, while species appeared and vanished. They stayed. And now, for the first time in their long history, something threatens them that their biology cannot adapt to. Not heat, not poison, not pressure. Us. The question is not whether these creatures can survive the conditions of their world. They have proven beyond any doubt that they can. The question is whether they can survive ours. There is a submersible somewhere in the Pacific right now, dropping slowly toward the ocean floor, toward the dark, toward the heat. Inside it, a scientist is watching a monitor, waiting for the first glow of a hydrothermal vent to appear in the blackness. And somewhere below, in water hot enough to cook, in darkness so complete it has never known daylight, a pale, quiet fish is pressing itself against the volcanic rock, breathing chemicals, living in fire. Completely unaware that far above it, in a world of light and air it has never known and will never know, someone is finally coming to learn its name.